Hi, welcome back to City Topics, part 2 of our coverage of the yearly competitions that Orlando City now may compete in the 2015 MLS season. So last episode we talked about those competitions that Orlando City is guaranteed to compete in. Now we'll talk about the competitions that the Orlando City Lions may potentially qualify for in those from those other 3 competitions. So that main tournament is the CONCACAF Champions League tournament, which is a tournament that puts the best club teams from the CONCACAF region of the world. So CONCACAF encompasses North America, Central America, and the Caribbean countries, and the best club teams from those come together in a 24-team competition that is held somewhere in the CONCACAF region. So the way that the team breakdown comes from these different regions is that North America offers up 9 different teams to the CONCACAF Champions League tournament. So what they consider North America is the Canadian system, the U.S. system, and the Mexican system. So that's 4 teams from Mexico, 4 teams from the United States, and only 1 team from the Canadian system go to this tournament. So that's the North American participants. The Central American participants are allowed to qualify 12 different teams. So those teams will come from Costa Rican professional leagues, Honduran leagues, El Salvadorian leagues, Guatemalan, Panamanian, and Nicaraguan teams. So the remaining 3 teams left over to qualify for the Champions League come from the different Caribbean nations. So all of those different regions have their own way to qualify, but for the U.S. system, the way to qualify for this tournament is in 4 different ways. So the first way is you could win the MLS Supporters Shield for that season. So being the best team in the regular season will get you a spot in the Champions League competition. Additionally, and this is new for this year, the team on the top of the table of the other conference also qualifies. So technically all you have to do is win your conference with the best record, the most amount of points, and you will qualify for the Champions League. So that's 2 spots. The 3rd spot goes to the winner of the MLS Cup, and the 4th spot goes to the winner of the US Open Cup. So those are the 4 different ways to get into the Champions League competition if you're a US-based team. Now, of course, only one of those allows non-MLS teams to qualify. That's the US Open Cup. The other 3, you have to be an MLS team to qualify. If any of those spots overlap, like let's say a team wins the Supporters Shield and wins the MLS Cup, well then the next spot goes to the next highest point team in the MLS table. So that takes care of any team taking up 2 spots. We will guarantee to put 4 teams into that competition for this upcoming year. Now this competition's pretty old. The CONCACAF Champions League started in 1962 technically, but back then it was called the CONCACAF Champions Cup. In 2008 it changed its name to CONCACAF Champions League, and that's the more modern version of this competition from 2009 until present. So if you take a look back in the history and put those 2 different names together, what's called the CONCACAF Champions Cup and Champions League, the winningest club is Cruz Azul from the Mexican First League. Now this team has won 6 different times, and most of these wins are pretty old. But recently they've gotten back on top of the CONCACAF Champions League competition, and they won it in last year's version, the 2014 CONCACAF Champions League. Recently, however, the competition has been dominated by Monterrey, another Mexican club. They won back-to-back-to-back wins in 2011, 2012, and 2013. So if you're starting to see a trend here, it's pretty evident that the Mexican clubs dominate this competition. And in fact, over all the years of the competition, Mexican clubs have won 30 times. The next best country to do well in this competition is the Costa Rican clubs that have only won it 6 times. So that's a pretty impressive domination of this competition. And in fact, over the past 9 years, the most recent 9 years, they've all been won by Mexican clubs. Now, however, the MLS teams do have a little bit of success in this competition over its history. MLS teams have won it 2 times. They won it in 1998, and that was with DC United, and they won it in 2000, and that was with the LA Galaxy. Also, we've had a couple runner-ups, second place wins in this competition, and that was the LA Galaxy in 97, and most recently, Real Salt Lake in 2011. Now, winning this competition is really coveted. It gives you the title of best club team in this region of the world, and that is something to really brag about. Now, traditionally, MLS clubs, some of them really care about this competition, some focus more on the more domestic competitions, but I think we've heard it from the ownership and the coaches that Orlando City is really going to take this competition seriously. And the reason for that is that if you win the CONCACAF Champions League, you qualify to participate in the FIFA Club World Cup. So the FIFA Club World Cup is a more recent competition. It started in 2000, and this is a small competition that pins the best club team from each region of the world against each other to be crowned the best club team in the world, which is huge. On top of that, there's a lot of prize money that comes with this competition. So, the FIFA Club World Cup takes the Oceania group, the Asian Confederation, CONCACAF, which we're a part of, the African Confederation, the South American Confederation, and the European Confederation. The winner of each of those 6 regions compete together to take home the FIFA Club World Cup. Now, the money that comes along with this is pretty substantial. The winner of the entire competition gets $5 million. That club gets $5 million. The runner-up gets $4 million, and less. But even the 7th place team gets $500,000. So that's 7th place. If you're wondering where that 7th place comes out of the 6 different regions, that's the host country gets a club to compete in the tournament. Now, historically, this competition has been dominated by European teams. So the European teams have won it 7 times. The next best region to show up at the Club World Cup is the South American Confederation with 4 different wins. Other than that, no other confederation has taken a win. It's just been European and South American. Names you might have heard of: Barcelona has won it 2 times, and Corinthians from Brazil has won it 2 times as well. So those are the competitions that Orlando City may qualify for in this year or in years to come. And I know that this is one of the goals of our club, is to do well in the CONCACAF Champions League and to eventually, hopefully, compete in the FIFA Club World Cup.